probably very interested in all the questions she asked, because I think everybody in here, every man in here was probably like, oh, I want to answer that. Like, oh, I can tell you on this one right here. So we definitely got to get down with that panel discussion. I'm real big on conversation.
Yeah,
if you ever met me away from here, away from doing poetry, away from hosting, you probably thought I couldn't talk because I don't really say a whole lot. But you know, I get in events like this, I have many things I want to say. So that was definitely powerful. And I wanted to clap and tell you, be you. If you want to cry, cry. Hey, it's all right. We right there with you. We right there with you. We're gonna make sure to see if our first boss speaker is here. And forgive me if I mispronounce this. Is Jackie Rouse here? Not here? I don't want to. We'll wait on him. Michael Holoman here. Michael Holoman. I just met this brother. Y'all give it up for Michael Holoman.
I am another judge, as y'all can tell. But I want to give honor to God who's had in my life. He's placed me where I need to be because of the trials and tribulations I've been through. So I had to make sure the first thing I do is say thank you to him. Because there was a point in my life where I didn't think I'd be here. All right? I don't want to go through that because that's what I'm not here for. I'm here about my occupation. But we're going to talk about being a boss in that occupation. When I was thinking about what I wanted to discuss, it was last night. I like to do things spur of the moment. When I was thinking about what I wanted to cover as far as occupation, and I was thinking about, I want to cover my job and let people know what I do for a living. But more importantly, I want to talk about, if you're talking about being a boss, we're talking about occupying your mind. What's occupying your mind? Who's taking control of your mind? Who owns that? Because we're talking about being a boss, and what a boss does, he makes decisions. So are you making decisions for your life or somebody else's? But before I get to that, first thing, I work for Medicare. I work for Blue Cross and Blue Shield of South Carolina. I am a fraud analyst. So basically, I'm like the Medicare police. So that's what I do for a living. I get to travel all over the country, and what I get to do is go into people who make a lot of money, make big decisions. I make it real nervous when I walk in the door. So I walk in the door, I say, hey, my name is Michael Holoman. I'm here for Medicare. I'm here to do a site visit. The first thing you see him do is the whole attitude in the building changes. I get a lot of respect when I do that. because now what I have is the ability to end their business. Now, how did I get to that point? Well, I had a plan in place. All right? When I was in high school, I didn't have a father there with me. But I couldn't make that my excuse either. A lot of people like to do that. A lot of us like to do that. We use that as an excuse. I don't have a father, so because I don't have a father, I have the right to be angry. I have the right to make bad decisions. I have the right to say, you know what? I don't care about life. Whatever happens, happens. We don't have that right. You got responsibility yourself. You have to be personal accountable about things you do and what you want and how you want to accomplish. You got to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, then somebody else is going to control how you get to that point of where you are in your life. All right? That's what being a boss is. Somebody who can run their own life, who makes their own decisions, who controls their own mindset. I'm a boss. Are you a boss? Are you a boss? All right? So I went to high school, and I want to say it was easy for me. It was easy for me. Yeah, it was. Even though I ran the streets with my friends, I was an athlete. I made great grades. I was in the honors class. I graduated in the top 5% of my class. So all my buddies I ran the streets with, we ran the streets. When we went home at night, I opened up the book. He didn't. I had a plan. My father had showed me what not to be. I didn't want to be him. He was an alcoholic. I wasn't trying to be that. He walked down in the family. I wasn't trying to be that type of person. All right? I wanted to be better. Amen. So even though I wanted to have my fun with my boys, I still had a plan in place of things I wanted to accomplish in my life. Yeah. So when I graduated, I went to Clemson. Got my degree in marketing. All right? So now I got a corporate job. I made it. All right? Got a corporate job. I'm doing my thing. Right? I'm doing customer service. That's what I do. I'm answering telephone calls. I'm paying my dues. Was I frustrated? Yes, but I had a plan in place because I was bossing my mind, my occupation, what I wanted to do. I got to the point where it was time for a job interview where this position came over. interview for it. Because I knew what I wanted, who I was, and what I wanted to accomplish, I got the job. So here I am, young man, young black man, the only black man in the company to be in this particular department, the fraud department. I went from being an hourly employee to a salary employee. All of a sudden, my life changes because now I can move and shift any way I want to. I still do it now. I take 1.5 hour lunches, maybe sometimes 2 hour lunches.
Like a boss.
You know what I'm saying? Like a boss. Like a boss. With no repercussions behind it. As long as I get my work done. All right, my company sends me all over the country. I fly all over the country when I go see these suppliers. Best city I like to go to is LA. I love LA. Been there numerous times. It's like my second city. I go do my job during the day. At nighttime, I get to enjoy myself. They pay me to go out there. They pay for my food. They pay for my hotel. They pay for my car. They pay for my time out there. And they also pay me a paycheck because it's my job.
Boss. That's it.
Right?
That's it, bro.
Right? That's my occupation. That's what I do. But you believe it or not, that's not what I love to do. That is a means to get me to the end to pay my bills.
Right.
What I found out is when I met these gentlemen in the back here, Jabbar and Gerard, we met at B.O.S.S. We've been friends for almost 6 years now. What I found out is what I love to do is, I love to service people. I love to go out here and talk to people about what it is, how to change their mind, how to be an impact on the community. I love to talk to the youth. I didn't know that at the time. Like I said, I give my honor to God. I always ask him to order my steps. I'm not a public speaker, I'm not a performer, none of that. I didn't grow up that way. I grew up secluded. I didn't like to talk. I didn't like to be around people. Let me do what I gotta do, and I'm done. If I'm in the moment, if I'm playing basketball, I'm in the moment, I'm gonna talk then. When I drop that jumper, and I'll cross you up, I'll let you know about it. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't wanna have no discussions with people. I was an observer. All that time in my life when I thought I was quiet, I was learning. I was processing things. I was learning about life and how people act, move, and think. So when I met these gentlemen, we used to have lunch every Friday. Our conversations, everything men talk about. Cars, women, sports, current events. But we always talked about manhood. Somehow, some way, that conversation always went back to manhood and what it is about being a man. So we always had something going on in our lives, or somebody we knew that had something going on in their lives that we didn't agree with. Funny thing is though, we all had the same ideas about what the solutions were, or how men should be thinking about answering these questions, but we all came from different backgrounds. Like I said, I grew up without my father. It was just me and my mom and my sister. Nothing but estrogen in my home. Me. Right? My mother was strong too. My sister was strong. So that's a lot of estrogen in me. All right? Jabbar grew up in a single parent home with just his father. He lost his mother at an early age. So he had a strong male influence in his life. And Gerard grew up in a 2-parent home. He was like the Cosby family. So his father was dead. Not only was his father dead, but his father was the head of the home. He was strong. And there was no doubt about it. But yet and still, we meet later on in life, and we all got the same ideas about what manhood is. Why is that? Because we all got different backgrounds. Why we all got the same idea about what manhood is? Because none of us made any excuses about who we were. We took from what was given to us. Even though I didn't have a man there directly, there were men who surrounded me everywhere I went. My mother she loved the church. So she kept me there. So I was exposed to real men. But it was my decision to take those real men, ideas and principles, and instill them into my life. Right? So that was my choice. I did get exposed to the wrong thing. I got caught up in the wrong thing. Because I still remember when I was young going to the basketball court. I was like 8 years old. I'm going to shoot. The guy came out. They go Holoman. Yeah, I got next. No, you ain't got next, sir. What are you talking about? Yeah, we got a fight set up for you. A fight set up? What are you talking about? Yeah, we know you ain't got no father no, so we gonna teach you what a man's about. We gonna teach you how to be tough. So that's how I grew up. That's what I was. That's what in earlier life. Oh, man is about being tough. But that's what man's not about. He's not about being tough.
Hallelujah.
You see, your physical things don't do anything for you. I can drop down and do 60 push-ups right now, maybe 70, maybe 80. Who knows? But that doesn't make me a man. So women can do that too, right? All right? That doesn't make me a man. That doesn't make me better than anybody else. I can pick up a gun and shoot somebody. That doesn't make me a man. That makes me a coward, actually.
Right.
All right? So check this out. If me and you go outside and we get in a fight, you win the fight, right? You go home, you go to the bar and get something to drink, and go cheat on your wife. I lost the fight, but I go home to my kids and my wife and let them know what happened. I was standing up for something that was right, baby. I lost the fight, but I'm still here with you. But you are cheating, backsliding, doing all the wrong things. Who's the big man? Because it's not about the things you do, it's about who you are as a person. And that's the things we talk about in the book. We're talking about occupation, being a boss. Who controls your thoughts? Is it the influence of the world, or is it you? I can tell you right now, if you don't have a plan in your life, somebody else controlling your thoughts. You're not bossing your life. Period. If you don't have a plan of what you want to be, what you're trying to accomplish, not only in your career, but in your religion, and your personal development of your character, if you don't have a plan for those things, you're not bossing your life. Somebody else is bossing your life. You're only fooling yourself. And if you're fooling yourself, you're losing. So the first thing you need to do is say, what's my plan? What do I want to be? Where do I want to be 5 years from now? People always say have a 5-year plan. I think you need to have a 1-week plan. So who are you going to be tomorrow? How about that? How about the next second plan? Because the decision takes that much time. You can make a decision right now and say, you know what, I'm going to boss my life. I'm going to be the person to occupy my mind and my thoughts, not the people around me. Because when you let people who are around you influence you, you don't even realize sometimes that you're being influenced by people. A lot of times, whenever me and Gerard and Jabari go into a elementary school, we talk to the youth. One of the main questions we always get is, are y'all brothers? Are y'all brothers? No, we're not brothers. But the thing is, we've been around each other so much, we've started to pick up on each other's nuances. And because we kind of move alike, kind of got the same mindset, kind of think alike, and sometimes even speak alike. We've taken on each other. It wasn't intentional. We didn't mean to do it. It's because we hang around each other all the time. So who are you hanging around? Are those people push you in a positive direction? Are they bossing your life the proper way? That's what occupation is about. Who's on your mind? Who's on your heart? Take time to think about that. Make a plan. I know I'm pacing back and forth. I can't help it. All right, I'm sorry about that. That's part of who I am. I get excited sometimes.
Spirit.
So I try to keep it calm. That's why I keep moving. All right? It's a little physical. But who's on your mind? Who's bossing that? I'll tell you another thing that we also do when we want to address issues, especially when we come about occupation in your mind. And once we see an issue of how we want to change things, one of the biggest things we do is we always address the peripheral of it, the outside. Nothing that makes a real impact. Because you notice if you have issues in your life and something that it keeps happening over and over again, hey, I just fixed that. I just fixed that problem. Then it happens again. Let me fix it again. Let me fix it again. I relate it to like a roof of a house. You got a leaky roof, and you go, the first time you fix it, okay, well, the roof's leaking. Let me go fix the roof of my house. You can get up there and do it yourself, right? Fix the roof. And then a few months later, it's leaking again in that same spot. You're like, I just fixed this. What's going on? So you go back up there and fix it again, right? That's what we do in our community. We keep fixing the leaky roof. But the leaky roof is not the problem. It keeps happening. What's the issue? The issue is just the foundation of the house. Something's wrong with the foundation. It's shifted off, right? So we need to go fix the foundation. But the problem with fixing the foundation is it takes more time, It takes more money, it takes more effort, it takes more patience. And that's what we're not willing to give or willing to do in our communities. We want to go fix the leaky part of the roof. We don't want to fix the foundation of it, which is the character, which is the person. That takes time. That takes effort. That takes patience. That takes love. Regina was talking about. That's what it takes. It takes commitment. And oftentimes, we can't fix the foundation ourselves. We got to call an expert. So who's the expert in character? It's God. Right?
Amen.
We got to call him into it.
That's right.
We got to make sure he's the one fixing the foundation. When he fixes it properly. Then once again, that roof never leaks.
Everybody.
That roof never leaks. Now you got a shelter that you're always covered. You're always warm. You never wet. You're always dry. Right? That's what we're talking about, fellas.
That's it.
That's being a boss.
Yeah, buddy.
That's occupying your mind. Let God do that. All right? Let me stop that because they already put some verses. They already put my Bible down.
It's in your heart.
That's one thing we like to talk about. So we probably can't quote the Bible like anybody else, but we can live it though.
That's it, bro. That's it.
That's what it's all about, right?
That's right.
So we occupying, fellas. Occupation. Have a plan. That's all I ask. Just take one thing away with you today. Have a plan. Take a moment and have a plan. Know exactly what you want. Not just say, hey, I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a doctor. What type of doctor? What day you want to be a doctor? It has to be specific. It has to be very specific. You got to pick that piece of paper up and read it. It has to make clear sense. I want to be a doctor by the year 2023. I'll be an oral surgeon. I'm graduating from this school with this particular degree. I'm going to do my internship at this hospital. But that takes planning. That takes research because you have to know those things. You can't just say, hey, I want to be a doctor. Why you want to be a doctor? You got to know why. The why is more important than anything else. Anything else. Because see, I got this occupation. I'm a fraud analyst for Medicare. And I make some good money. But I can make money doing anything, right? Because I get tired of this job. I can go find another job and make more money. But why do I stick with it? Well, right now, that's the kind of answer. Which, as you can see, I'm starting to transition out of that. I'm transitioning to my why. My why is this right here, the board of directors. It's my heart. Getting out here and talking to the youth about what's important. Your why is more important than anything else, fellas. I gotta wrap it up. About 15 minutes is gone. But your why is more important than anything else. Because you have to know why. That's what's gonna sustain you when times get hard. Because there comes a time when you're working your plan, it's not working out for you. You gotta know why you're working that plan. If you don't know why you're working that plan, you're gonna stop that plan. And once again, you're back to not being the boss, you're letting somebody else occupy your mind, and you're not controlling your life. That's me.